Texting and driving wasn't illegal in 1819, so what hypothetical crime will exist in 2219? It is illegal to clone yourself and use your clones as your own personal slaves. Good thing that's not illegal now, or I would have never gotten all that blood out of the carpet. Driving a vehicle manually. Or possibly manual operation under the influence, as in it's perfectly legal to drive your car home while shit-faced so long as you let the automated system handle the driving. Unfortunately, I'm fairly convinced it will still be illegal to be the primary occupant of an automated car while under the influence. Not getting your AIDS vax. We'll still be battling anti-vaxxers? Luddites never relent. They do when they die of AIDS. Making more than one account on a social media website. Drug dealers are replaced by water dealers. Jailbreaking your computers and phones to freely browse the internet will be a misdemeanor. See, that shit is dark. The moment we have to get all crazy about where our water is coming from, we are in deep trouble. I am really excited for body hacking crimes, like for people with electronic implants and getting them hacked. This already exists. Peacemakers can be hacked. There was a case where one guy did it intentionally to alter his heart rate so as to speed it up, energize, slow it down, sleepy sleep. Then interference from his brother's video game caused it to malfunction and he dead. Blorping without a Zorglanax. Honestly, it already should be. Seriously. Someone blorped by me the other day. No Zorglanax, no Camafrin, nothing. Like, how insensitive can you be? Depends where he was. In some states, if you slide the Megana into the Blissik before you blorp, then you don't need a Zorglanax. Though I'd still recommend a Camafrin. That said, if you have an old pre-2210-ish model Megana, then the Silareme levels will be too high to accurately predict the outcome, and it's a bit of a legal gray area. Abusing or killing an AI. This is a big one for me. The potential social change we could experience as we develop more and more sophisticated AI and they fight for equal rights. Am I the only one that's against developing smarter and smarter AI? Like we have hundreds of dystopian moves and books of why that's a bad idea. And yet here we are doing it anyways, thinking it won't happen to us. Teleporting while taking a dump. Why not just teleport the right out of your bowels? That's one job I could do without. Mind trolling. Want a brain-computer interface? Most people probably will by then because it'll make life infinitely easier. With a new dimension of communication opened up to us, we'll be experiencing things we can't even imagine today. Do you love someone? The old-fashioned ways of expressing your love would be writing them a poem, singing them a song, buying them stuff, taking them places, baby-talking them in private while doing goofy not cheating on your wife with them and ruining your YouTube career overnight. Things of that nature. And you still could do that. But you also could just send them your feelings. It's such an alien concept that we barely have the vocabulary to describe it today. But imagine if you could retweet literal emotions, feelings, and memories. Not words describing these things. Not emojis. But the actual mental states. And you send your love, your most heartfelt emotions. And it's a dimension of experiences far beyond any text, any love letter, any song, any video, any speech you could give today. But you actually messaged the wrong person and you got sludgy diarrhea sent back to you. So now the only thing you can think about for the next 30 minutes is some hairy spewing orange liquid feces everywhere. You can't get it out of your mind. And it's just upsetting, and you're done with life and no longer understand why people wear shoes. Meanwhile, the transhuman equivalent of that is laughing at you and sending their sadistic kicks to all their friends. That'll be illegal. Hopefully. 3D printing products without purchasing their license. I think a significant amount of commerce will involve buying blueprints and printing them. You wouldn't download a car. ... Or would you? Time travel and killing someone in the past. Programming a real person into your simulator without their consent. Programming robots to do things before robot is at least 18. I'm unsure as to how a robot's age would matter, as they don't physically age or mature over time. Even human-looking androids with exceptionally advanced AI. You wouldn't really have much of a mental underdevelopment stage, as an AI's capacity to learn far exceeds our own, and also at that point I doubt that they'd start with a blank slate. What would likely be illegal is making the android look like a kid and doing that Also, I'd imagine that writing a letter while driving a horse-drawn carriage would have been illegal in 1819. I'm certain it would not have. It was probably encouraged. The horse could drive itself. The horse is not permitted to write while driving. Growing your own food. If we survive that long, I'm sure we'll be heavy into thought crime by then. It will be illegal to hack your car and take it off the net. No one is allowed to actually drive a car without very special certification. Also, whenever you start your car, an advertisement plays. Seeing as there is a 1/5 chance we will be extinct by 2100, probably doing anything that will increase global warming. Going to another planet that has life without a proper passport. Having to make babies. Trying to fix a device you bought without paying the repair your own DAVC fee to the company. VR in a flying car. If this isn't legal, I don't want to live in your future. Advertising vapes on TV. Currently, advertisements for tobacco in the US are illegal, but because vaping is so new, there's no laws making it illegal to advertise it on TV. Publicly acknowledging the existence of a government. You can resist what you can't discuss. Thoughts and prayers. Time travel. If it is actually possible, someone can easily, for example, go to the Battle of Gettysburg and kill the guy who closes the fence. Thus the Confederates win the battle and the war, and thus continue to exist. I give it 5 minutes before someone goes back and tries killing their grandfather. Freedom of speech. At the rate this country is going, that won't last until 2050. There are already segments of millennials and Gen Z who would like to see speech they disagree with curtailed. If we make it to 2219, perhaps there will have to be limits on cognitive bandwidth within certain places that are likely targets of terrorist activity. Eating spaghetti without a spaghetti license. Breathing clean air you haven't paid for. Bold of you to assume the humans will still be alive in 2219. Raping an artificial intelligence or an alien life form. Probably. Not vaccinating your children. You can't scare people in public because of a surplus of heart attacks in 2194. Taking control of your vehicle in non-emergency situations. Also having in your car probably. Vaping while hoverboarding. Autopilot and chill. Believe it. Internet today is like the Wild West. In the future, our internet personality is as real as our IRL identity, and thus, it will be illegal to have more than one internet personality and more than one IRL identity. I've always wondered that if a CO2 tax was ever implemented, if eventually we wouldn't be taxed on the emissions of our own metabolisms. Imagine going to jail for tax evasion for all that air you breathed up without paying for. Teleslaughter. Teleporting into the space occupied by another person and thus causing them to explode. Information will become government property. Databases will be uploaded directly into the mind as people grown into adults, like we do today with school, but from a central computer. As you approach your mid-teens, you will choose a career and your wages will be part of the payment for data pertaining to the career of choice. Forbidden data upload will be a crime, punishable by complete wipe, and a manual labor position until the fine is paid in full. Hovering over the speed limit. You can't own an alien for a pet on Mars. It just doesn't work. Use of handheld brain scanning devices by anyone other than trained members of the government Brain Watch, or the TSA. Unauthorized pregnancy. Murdering the same person 3 times. Commercial distribution and development of artificial intelligence. Flying a private aircraft in the altitude level reserved for commercial drones. Using telepathic communication while operating a mining laser. 2 letters. RR. One contains robot. The other only works if robots have rights. No, it's not rights by the way, though they have them. Sexual assault of a robot. Attempting to not share your thoughts. Having cybersex through your private cortical implant during court. Committing because it's considered murder. Someone in 2219 is going to find this thread and laugh at how wrong we all are. Or be amazed at how right we all are. Stealing power. This obviously would already be illegal. But let me explain. I've envisioned wireless charging technology advancing to the point where it works like a wireless hotspot. Everything in your house is constantly charged by this thing. No more plugging stuff in. Just like a neighbor using your Wi-Fi. They would use your wireless charger unauthorized so they don't have to pay as much in electricity. If you're attempting to multitask using VR, and one of those tasks is flying a drone, not paying attention to where you're flying your drone for even 1 second could lead to a serious injury or cause a transformer to explode, blacking out a whole neighborhood assuming that they still exist, and that above-ground power lines won't be a thing of the past. Downloading how to manufacture weapons into your brain. Making memes because Article 13 will probably be a law by that time. Smoking everywhere, please. You cannot whilst operating hoverpants.